The serpent's kiss slices through the bright, endless blue, challenging the horizon. Anne, a woman of fire and will, commands the helm, her red hair a defiant flag. Her intense gaze sweeps across the vast expanse, searching, ever vigilant. The ocean stretches, an open invitation to fortune and peril. Anne stands over a weathered wooden table, her fingers lightly dancing across the time-worn parchment of an ancient map. Sunlight floods in from a nearby porthole, illuminating the cabin and casting a golden glow on Anne's face. Her eyes sparkle with a mix of determination and anticipation as she traces the faded lines leading to a deserted island. She imagines the thrill of discovery and the secrets hidden on the remote shore. With a determined glance, Anne resolves to set sail, drawn by the allure of the unknown. On a deserted island, the Serpent's Kiss finds its haven, anchored gracefully off a pristine white sandy beach. From the ship emerges a motley crew, each step onto the shore resonating with untold stories and rugged resilience. Barnaby, the burly first mate, strides onto the beach, his presence a bulwark against the unknown. Jack, a sly and opportunistic sailor, steps onto the sand, his eyes darting around with a glint of cunning. Together, the crew of the Serpent's Kiss stand on the shore, ready to face whatever mysteries the deserted island holds. Anne, resolute, guides her team through the jungle's dense embrace, the weight of determination etched on her face. The map, a fragile guide, is clutched like a lifeline, its worn edges whispering tales of past journeys and future hopes. Each step is a battle against the jungle's heavy, humid breath, the air thick with the unseen world. A symphony of the unseen surrounds them as chirps, clicks, and rustles weave through the ancient trees. The crew advances, each member driven by the promise of discovery, deeper into the heart of the unknown. The deserted island reveals its secrets as lush vegetation intertwines with weathered stones, painting a scene of eerie beauty. Navigating through the dense foliage, they tread carefully, each step echoing the island's forgotten history. Before them, ancient ruins emerge, silent witnesses to a time long past. With a final, decisive push, a hidden entrance to a tomb is revealed, its darkness promising both secrets and dangers. The tomb yawns open, beckoning them into its depths. The crew descends into the ancient tomb, torches cutting through the oppressive darkness. Their torches cast eerie, dancing shadows that swirl across the damp stone walls. Thick cobwebs hang like ghostly curtains, shrouding the path ahead in mystery. Each footstep echoes eerily, breaking the oppressive silence with a haunting resonance. The team advances into the treasure chamber, their figures dwarfed by the immensity of the space. Piles of gold shimmer, catching the faint light that filters down from unseen heights. Jewels sparkle within ancient chests, their brilliance undimmed by the passage of centuries. Ancient artifacts line the walls, each piece a silent testament to a forgotten era. The crew halts, breathless, their eyes wide with disbelief at the overwhelming spectacle. In the heart of the ancient tomb's treasure chamber, Anne's commanding voice cuts through the silence, orchestrating the movements of her crew. The team moves like a well-oiled machine, each member focused on the task of carefully loading the chamber's glittering treasures. Solid wooden chests are filling rapidly with priceless artifacts, their surfaces shimmering in the dim light. Amidst the controlled chaos, Barnaby and Jack exchange a knowing glance, their eyes communicating a silent understanding. Jack responds with a subtle nod, his eyes meeting Barnaby's in a fleeting moment of shared awareness. The chamber buzzes with activity as the crew races against time, the air thick with anticipation and the weight of history. Moonlight bathes the deserted island beach, illuminating a treasure of gold and jewels. A bonfire crackles, sparks rising into the night, its light playing across the hidden wealth. Shadows dance wildly, twisting and turning with the flames, guarding the treasure. The gold glitters, jewels shimmer, a tempting sight under the watchful moon and fire. The scene unfolds on the deserted island beach, a secret revealed under the cover of night. On a deserted island beach at night, Barnaby confronts Anne under the flickering torchlight. His voice rises, fueled by greed, as he declares, "I demand a larger share of the treasure, Anne. It's only fair." Jack and the crew stand firm beside Barnaby, their expressions hardening in silent support. The torchlight dances across their faces, casting long, ominous shadows that amplify the tension. Anne remains stoic, facing Barnaby and the crew, the sound of the waves a relentless backdrop to their confrontation. Under the stark moonlight on a deserted island, a brutal battle ignites between Anne and her treacherous crew. Steel clashes against steel, sparks erupting in the darkness as the mutineers press their attack. The air fills with desperate shouts and pained cries, their echoes swallowed by the vast emptiness of the beach. The fight intensifies, each parry and thrust a desperate dance between life and death on the desolate shore. Under the stark moonlight, the deserted island beach reveals its hidden dangers. Anne, though skilled, faces overwhelming odds as her attackers close in. The sound of metal on sand echoes as Anne's weapon falls from her grasp. In a moment of brutal reality, Anne is knocked off her feet, her struggle evident. The white sand becomes a battleground as Anne collapses, the fight far from over. Under the cloak of night on the deserted island beach, Barnaby and Jack begin their grim task. Anne struggles in vain as her hands are bound. With hands and feet secured, Anne's desperate fight intensifies as she realizes her fate. The rough sand scrapes against Anne's skin as Barnaby and Jack drag her towards the weathered rowboat. The small, weathered rowboat awaits, a symbol of Anne's diminishing hope. Towards the boat, they drag her, each pull a step further into despair. Anne sits alone in a small rowboat, a tiny figure against the immense backdrop of the star-strewn sky. The deserted island fades into a dark silhouette, shrinking into the horizon. The vast, open ocean stretches endlessly around her, an infinite expanse under the watchful stars. The gentle rocking of the boat becomes the only movement in the still night. The soft lapping of waves against the hull provides the only sound, a lonely rhythm in the darkness. Anne is adrift, surrounded by the quiet vastness of the open ocean. The Serpent's Kiss sails through the dark, its sails full against the night sky. Treasure sparkles on the deck, gleaming in the darkness. Anne stands alone, a solitary silhouette against the horizon. She fades into the distance, a figure swallowed by the vastness of the open ocean. The ship continues its journey, sailing toward an uncertain dawn. The first light of dawn reveals Anne, broken and alone, washed ashore on the desolate beach. Exhaustion clings to her like the damp sand as the reality of her isolation sinks in. She pushes herself up, the weight of despair heavy on her shoulders, the island's vast emptiness surrounding her. Anne stands, a solitary figure against the endless horizon, a symbol of resilience in the face of utter desolation. Sunlight filters through the dense canopy as Anne hesitantly steps onto the sandy shore, enveloped by the jungle's humid embrace. Anne inhales deeply, her senses heightened, ready to explore the island. She begins her exploration, her eyes scanning the surroundings for any sign of sustenance. With each step, Anne relies on her survival skills, searching for fresh water and edible plants. On a deserted island, Anne discovers a freshwater waterfall, a cascade of life amidst desolation. She rushes towards the water, her steps quickening with anticipation. She kneels at the base of the waterfall, the sound of rushing water filling her ears. Anne cups her hands, gathering the cool, clear water. She drinks deeply, the life-giving water, quenching her thirst and renewing her spirit. A glimmer of hope flickers in Anne's eyes, reflecting the promise of survival. Amidst the untouched expanse of a deserted island jungle, Anne uses nature's gifts to carve out a safe haven. With determined hands, she coaxes life from stone, igniting a spark that promises warmth and hope. The tender flame begins to dance, a small but mighty beacon against the backdrop of untamed wilderness. The crackling fire whispers tales of survival and resilience, a testament to the strength found in solitude. The jungle's silence is broken by the comforting sound of the fire, a symbol of Anne's defiance against the odds. As dusk approaches, the fire grows stronger, casting dancing shadows that turn the jungle into a realm of magic and mystery. Anne stands alone on the deserted beach, her gaze sweeping the endless horizon, a glimmer of hope flickering in her eyes. Days blur into weeks under the scorching sun, the vast ocean a constant reminder of her isolation. Each sunrise brings a renewed search for rescue, her silhouette stark against the golden sky. The relentless sun beats down on the deserted beach, each wave a mocking reminder of her solitude. Hope wanes as the unchanging expanse of the ocean stretches before her, a vast and indifferent barrier. Yet, in her eyes, a spark of resilience remains, refusing to be extinguished by the island's isolation. Anne struggles, her body slick with sweat, as she claws her way up the final, treacherous rocks. She heaves herself up, finally conquering the cliff's edge. Standing tall against the wind, Anne surveys her domain. The wind whips at her clothes, a tangible force pulling at her. Before her, the ocean stretches out, an endless expanse of shimmering water. The panoramic view offers no solace, only the stark reality of her isolation. Under the relentless sun, Anne surveys the desolate beach, her eyes catching sight of a wrecked ship. Hope sparks within her as she approaches the decaying wreck, envisioning the supplies it might hold. She pauses, her gaze lingering on the precarious wreck, hope mixing with trepidation. With bated breath, Anne tests the rotting wood, her survival instincts guiding every step. She steps onto the wreck, her determination growing with each step. Amidst the chaos of splintered wood and debris, Anne moves carefully, her presence a stark contrast to the surrounding destruction. Her fingers close around cold metal as she unearths tools and rope, each find fueling a flicker of hope. With newfound resolve, Anne's eyes gleam as a plan begins to take shape, the wreckage transforming into a canvas of possibilities. In the heart of devastation, Anne stands firm, piecing together a future from the fragments of the past. Sunlight paints the jungle floor with shifting patterns as Anne navigates the dense wilderness. With focused determination, Anne meticulously sets a snare, her movements precise and economical. Sweat glistens on her brow as she blends seamlessly into her surroundings, a hunter adapting to her new world. She is learning to survive, alone in the wild. Her movements are precise, her actions economical. Anne has become one with the jungle. On the desolate beach, Anne scavenges for materials, her eyes reflecting a burning resolve. With determined hands, Anne begins constructing a raft, weaving salvaged wood together with rough rope. Sweat beads on her brow as she labors tirelessly under the relentless sun, each knot tied with a purpose. Driven by an unquenchable desire for revenge, Anne continues to build, each log a step closer to her goal. The raft slowly takes shape, a testament to Anne's unwavering will and relentless pursuit of retribution. On the deserted island beach, Anne meticulously examines the raft in the shallows. She carefully adjusts the raft's structure, ensuring its seaworthiness. With focused determination, Anne tests the raft's buoyancy. Anne makes final adjustments, preparing for her journey. Under a vast, star-strewn sky, Anne lies on the desolate beach, a solitary figure against the immensity of the night. The stars become her map. As Anne begins to trace lines in the sand, each stroke a step towards freedom. Her fingers dance across the sand, sketching a course through the cosmos, each grain holding the promise of escape. Anne's plan takes shape under the watchful eyes of distant stars, a beacon of hope in the surrounding darkness. With each line, Anne's resolve hardens, the beach transforming into a canvas of hope and determination. As dawn breaks on the deserted island, Anne prepares to embark on her perilous journey. With grim determination, Anne pushes the raft into the surf, her eyes fixed on the distant horizon. The raft glides into the ocean, carrying Anne away from the island. The vast ocean stretches before her, an endless expanse of blue under the awakening sky. Anne sets sail, embracing the unknown challenges that lie ahead. The raft drifts further away, a tiny speck against the immensity of the sea. Under the relentless sun, Anne faces the vast ocean, each wave a challenge to her will. The sun beats down, testing Anne's resolve with each ray. Waves crash against her small boat, a constant struggle against the sea's might. Anne grits her teeth, her gaze unwavering as she stares at the distant horizon. She clenches her fist, a symbol of her refusal to surrender. Despite the overwhelming odds, Anne remains unyielding, her spirit unbroken. Amidst the vast expanse of the open ocean, Anne squints, her gaze fixed on the distant horizon. A faint glimmer on the horizon sharpens into the silhouette of a ship slicing through the waves. Driven by desperation, Anne frantically waves a makeshift flag, a beacon of hope against the endless blue. Each wave of the flag is a plea, a silent scream carried by the wind across the water. Her hope intensifies as she strains to see if her signal has been noticed. Weak and trembling, Anne is hauled onto the merchant ship, collapsing onto the hard deck. Exhaustion overwhelms her as she begins to recount her ordeal. She speaks of her trials and tribulations. The captain listens intently as the endless ocean stretches out behind them, a silent witness to her suffering. The vast ocean provides a stark backdrop to Anne's tale of survival. In the dimly lit captain's cabin, the captain leans back in his worn leather chair, contemplating Anne's words. His weathered face reflects the dim light, his eyes showing a flicker of understanding and empathy. The captain nods slowly, moved by Anne's story and the weight of her quest. With newfound resolve, the captain declares, "All right, Anne, I'll help you track down the Serpent's Kiss." Amidst the clamorous docks of a bustling port town, Anne, disguised as a sailor, steps ashore, the salty air and cries of gulls filling the air. Anne blends into the throng of merchants and travelers, her eyes subtly searching for any sign of the Serpent's Kiss. With calculated steps, she navigates through the bustling crowd, her sailor's disguise aiding her every move. The docks buzz with activity as Anne discreetly gathers whispers and rumors, piecing together the puzzle of the Serpent's Kiss. Her senses heightened, Anne absorbs the sights and sounds of the port, each detail potentially holding a clue to her quest. As the sun beats down on the docks, Anne remains vigilant, her determination unwavering in her pursuit of the Serpent's Kiss. The tavern buzzes with a low, guttural energy, a haven for pirates and sailors where the scent of stale ale hangs heavy. Anne steps into the dimly lit tavern, her gaze sharp and observant as she surveys the raucous crowd. Her eyes dart around, missing nothing as she takes in every detail of the tavern's patrons. Like a shadow, she melts into a darkened corner, her presence unnoticed as she becomes one with the tavern's secrets. From her concealed vantage point, Anne listens intently, her senses heightened as she seeks whispers of vital information. Unseen and unheard, she becomes a silent observer, absorbing the tavern's atmosphere and the secrets it holds within its walls. In the dimly lit tavern, Anne sits alone, cloaked in shadows, nursing her drink as the drunken chatter swirls around her. Her eyes narrow with suspicion as she overhears Barnaby and Jack's conversation from a nearby table. "I tell you, Jack, that treasure is more than we dreamed." Barnaby's words cut through the tavern noise. "Aye, Barnaby, enough to set us up for life. And that fool Anne believed our lies." Jack's admission hangs in the air. Betrayal stings as Anne realizes, "They left me for dead. I'll make them pay." In the dimly lit port town, Anne stalks Barnaby and Jack, her gaze sharp and calculating. Her eyes reflect a growing storm of vengeance as she trails them through the shadowy streets. Unseen, Anne plots her revenge, her steps measured and determined. The night conceals her as she follows, a silent predator with a vengeful heart. In the dimly lit alleyway of the port town, Anne stands firm. Barnaby smirks, cracking his knuckles, as Jack nervously backs him up. A sudden gust of wind tears through the alley, swirling dust around them. Anne tenses, ready to confront Barnaby and Jack. In the dimly lit alleyway of the port town, shadows dance ominously. Anne looms, her face a study in fury, standing over Barnaby and Jack. Barnaby and Jack lie defeated on the rough cobblestones, their groans echoing through the night. The air crackles with unspoken threats as Anne surveys the scene. The port town alleyway holds its breath, awaiting Anne's next move. Anne strides confidently onto the docks, her eyes set on the Serpent's Kiss. The ship's dark sails hang limp, surrendering to the gentle harbor breeze. Armed guards swarm the deck, their movements sharp, their control absolute. The defeated crew members are led away in shackles, their protests swallowed by the salty air. Anne stands resolute at the helm, her weathered hands a testament to countless voyages. The Serpent's Kiss slices through the turquoise expanse, a lonely silhouette against the vast unknown. The ship forges ahead, its destination a mystery veiled in the distant horizon. Each wave conquered brings her closer to the secrets whispered by the sea. In the dimly lit captain's cabin of the Serpent's Kiss, Anne leans over a newly sketched map. Her fingers trace a bold course toward untold riches, each line promising adventure and peril. Sunlight pours through the porthole, casting a golden glow on her face. The bright light illuminates the glint of determination in her eyes. Anne's focus sharpens, her resolve hardening with each passing moment. Against the horizon, the Serpent's Kiss approaches a vibrant tropical island, a jewel of untouched wilderness. Lush greenery explodes across the landscape, promising untold secrets within its vibrant heart. The island teems with life, a symphony of nature's grand design. Waves crash gently onto the shore, whispering stories of ancient mariners and forgotten treasures. The silhouette of the Serpent's Kiss cuts against the setting sun, a harbinger of change on this idyllic paradise. As the ship docks, the island watches, silent and expectant, ready to reveal its hidden mysteries. Anne leads her crew into the heart of the jungle, each step a battle against the overwhelming green. The dense vegetation resists their advance, a maze of nature's design. Sweat drenches her brow as she searches for any sign of the fabled city, eyes scanning the horizon. Her determination burns bright, fueled by the legend of a city hidden in the green abyss. Each swing of her machete is a step closer to destiny, cutting through both vine and doubt. Before us, the hidden city unfolds, its ancient buildings shimmering under the golden sunlight, whispering tales of a forgotten era. Majestic structures rise, adorned with intricate carvings, their untold riches reflecting the glory of a civilization lost to time. The air vibrates with the weight of ancient secrets, inviting exploration and promising the unearthing of mysteries long concealed. The breathtaking sight serves as a testament to the grandeur and sophistication of a civilization swallowed by the sands of time. Each stone and carving tells a story, inviting us to step back into a world where legends were born and empires thrived. Shafts of sunlight pierce the darkness of the ancient temple, revealing a world lost to time. Anne navigates the temple with unwavering resolve, her gaze sweeping over the weathered stones. Her fingers trace the cold surface of a stone altar, seeking a hidden truth. With a subtle click, a secret compartment yields its prize. A powerful artifact emerges from the shadows. Under the vast star-studded sky, Anne and her jubilant crew erupt in celebration on the tropical beach. The night air vibrates with the echoes of laughter and joyous shouts as they revel in their triumph. Around a blazing bonfire, shadows dance with the figures as they feast, their faces illuminated by the warm glow. The tropical island transforms into a haven of merriment, where every heart beats in unison with the rhythm of drums. With every dance step, they express their unity and shared joy, their silhouettes painting a vivid picture against the night sky. As the night deepens, the celebration intensifies, binding Anne and her crew in an unbreakable bond of shared success and camaraderie. The Serpent's Kiss sails boldly across the turquoise ocean, leaving the tropical island behind. Its weathered hull slices through the waves, carrying the scent of adventure. Sunlight catches the glint of treasure on deck, a testament to fortunes won. The galleon forges ahead, propelled by winds heavy with untold stories. Each league sailed promises new horizons and further riches. The Serpent's Kiss is sailing towards the horizon, disappearing into the vast expanse of the ocean. Sunlight floods the captain's cabin of the Serpent's Kiss, illuminating the air where Anne sits absorbed in thought. Her gaze drifts, lost in memories, as the dust motes dance in the sunlit air. A memento of Batla scar on her arm catches her attention. A faint smile touches Anne's lips, hinting at a quiet resolve. The cabin remains silent, save for the creaks of the ship and the distant cries of gulls. Anne's smile deepens, a silent promise of adventures yet to come. Anne stands at the helm, the sun setting behind her, a true pirate captain against a fiery sky. The salty wind whips through her hair as she gazes out at the open ocean. The setting sun paints the sky in fiery hues, reflected in Anne's determined eyes. A confident smile plays on her lips, a testament to her life as a true pirate captain. Under the cloak of night, Anne is silhouetted against the star-strewn sky, a solitary figure amidst the vast ocean. The gentle breeze whispers secrets as it dances through Anne's hair, carrying the weight of her past and the promise of her future. The ocean stretches endlessly, mirroring the depth of Anne's thoughts. Her voice echoes with newfound resolve. They thought they could break me, but they only made me stronger. Her eyes, reflecting the distant starlight, burn with a fiery determination, unyielding and unbreakable. The vastness of the ocean becomes her ally, a silent witness to her resilience and strength.